can prove their numbers on the floor of the House, then they should be given a chance in Delhi Assembly. That's what three-term Chief Minister and senior Congress leader Sheila Dikshit said, and that surprised her own partymen. I'm now joined by Sheila Dikshit. Ma'am, thank you very much. As I said, that your comments surprised your own party, or as they put it, shocked your own party. And it was trending online on Twitter, and supporters of the Aam Aadmi Party, they said that it just shows that you prefer the BJP over Aam Aadmi Party because their government is the government that started action against your government. How do you respond to such criticism?
Look, I've got lots of questions to answer. Anyway, number one, I took a constitutional position that if they can have the numbers, because without the numbers, whoever may support them or not support them, they cannot form a government. And it's the Lieutenant Governor who has to be satisfied that they have the numbers. Then he only really asks them to form a government. And secondly, they have to prove it on the floor of the House. Now, why this has been twisted? A simple thing which is a constitutional provision and a constitutional requirement for any government to stay in government or be able to form a government is something quite beyond me. So I'm clarifying it very clearly that don't read into what I have said. I merely said what is the possibility. If you have the numbers, you form a government. If you don't have the numbers, you haven't been able to form it so far. But you're the ones who are claiming, and the Lieutenant Governor is supposed to have given some report. So let them be satisfied if they form it. Then you and I can't stop it. And if they cannot form the government, they don't have the numbers, the requisite numbers, then you and I cannot make them form the government.
Right. But that's the constitutional position as you put it. But,
yes,
you know, it surprised the Congress party as well. In fact, you would have noticed that they distance, the party distance your comments.
They did.
So, you know, because the party line is that, you know, BJP cannot prove the numbers unless they poach into either Aam Aadmi Party or the Congress.
Now I'm not commenting on poaching.
Right.
The thing is, can you prove that you have so many people? Now, whether it's been poached upon or not been poached upon and all sorts of things are being said, that's for the powers that be, that is the Lieutenant Governor and the Assembly itself to prove. Now, the Congress, people who ever made these remarks, I don't think they really knew what I had said. Because even later on, they corrected themselves and said that what she has said is, if you have the numbers, form the government.
Right.
That's all. And if you recall, the BJP also said, yes, if we have the numbers, we'll form the government. That's her stand. So I don't see why so much of a hullabaloo or row or, argument has gone on with this. It's a very, very simple and straightforward thing. But I suppose we are argumentative Indians and we carry on.
Because, you know, ma'am, the other argument is that your party, Aam Aadmi Party, they've approached the Supreme Court, they've met the President, they've met the Lieutenant Governor. They say that fresh elections are the only options available. Are the only option.
Okay.
I mean, or rather, fresh election is the only option, and there are no other options on the table.
I want to just remind you and everybody else that the Aam Aadmi was supported by the Congress from the outside, and that was given in writing. Do you remember that?
Yes.
That's why they formed the government. Then they moved away from the government. They resigned. They did, but a procedure was followed, and that procedure was that it was verified that yes, Congress is going to support them, but support them from the outside without being a part of the government, and issue-based support. So, if they can do this, I don't know what are the options that the BJP is thinking of. And that is why AAP was asked to form a government, even though it wasn't the largest party.
Right. Because they could prove their numbers even before they took the floor test.
And when they walked out of it, there it was. Now, there's a case which the Supreme Court has decided, which will come out also. And I suppose they will wait for that. Then also, please remember, in February, definitely you have to have elections if cannot if nobody can form a government, we'll have elections. Nothing against the elections.
Do you see a role for yourself in the next Delhi election?
No.
You've had enough of Delhi?
It's not a matter of having enough of Delhi. I love Delhi, I love its people, and I must tell you...
Oh, enough of Delhi politics, let me put it this way.
No, I've done 16 years, 15 of government,
Yeah.
and 1 year of building up the party. And I think it needs a full stop now.
Would you, or maybe a comma and move on to something bigger, maybe the Congress Working Committee?
Nothing has come my way. I was made chairman of the Nehru Centenary, 125-year celebration. I'll do that work.
But are you open to accepting, greater responsibility within the party? And the reason I ask you, ma'am, that right now, after the worst performance by the Congress in a Lok Sabha election, there seems to be this great churning. A divide of sorts between the old guard and the new guard, or Rahul Gandhi supporters, if you like. How does it impact the party? You've seen the party, you've been with the party for so long.
Look, as you have said, we have suffered a defeat. Okay? Now, if after such a defeat there's not going to be churning, then you will say, look, they're immune to anything, they don't want to do anything. Now, these are ideas which are coming forth. Some is expressing something, somebody is saying something else. But eventually, the consensus will be arrived at by the Congress Working Committee, by the General Secretaries put together. You have a president, you have a vice president, and they will take a call. So, that is when the real thing will come out. Right now, it is all everybody saying what they want to or not. But does it have the kind of strength and meaning? They are ideas that are coming up. People are expressing their ideas. And in the Congress party...
So it shouldn't be seen as dissent or dissidence?
No, I don't see why it should be seen as dissent. I think it's just an idea, it's just an opinion. They've said an opinion, and Congress is never known to have crushed anybody's opinion. You can say that. But eventually the decision is taken collectively.
But some senior leaders, like, say, for example, Jagmeet Brar, he questioned Rahul's leadership. He had even suggested that maybe Congress president and vice president should step down for a while and allow other leaders.
It's a personal opinion. It's an opinion which was required to be said. It's just for him to decide. It's his personal opinion. It's not the opinion of the Congress, as a party.
But in general, you prefer ideas coming, people voicing their concerns.
Ideas are always welcome in the Congress. The Congress has always encouraged ideas. Yes, there has to be a line drawn on what you say in public. Giving an idea within a committee or a working committee or a general secretary or within a group working is something. Your discussions there are far freer.
Right.
But you go and air them outside, then it shows a schism in the party, which should not be there.
So you didn't answer my question directly. Are you open to accepting a bigger role, let's say, as a member of the Congress Working Committee?
Let me see. I have got no offer just now. I was asked to take on this, and I've taken it on. I'm going to be busy with this, and I'm going to try and do whatever we possibly can in memory of the greatest leader, the first Prime Minister of this country, Jawaharlal Nehru. So, and a great freedom fighter. It's something to be, I feel proud of. But when it comes, then we'll take a call. Nobody's spoken to me, and I've not spoken to anybody.